Hello fellow makers and welcome back to 3D Printed Soup. Now I've been doing this channel for about 4 years now and I've just been having a bit of a think back over those years, and there's 4 or 5 prints which I have really enjoyed doing and that they sort of stood out above the rest of them. I mean, I've enjoyed doing all my prints, and occasionally they make you want to pull your hair out or throw them across the room when they fail, but all in all, I very much have enjoyed printing everything that I've done on this channel, and I've also enjoyed your feedback and the fact you've been on this journey with me. So I thought I'd look back over our years together and check out my top 5 3D prints and 1 honourable mention. So without further ado, in no particular order, except for the fact that number 1 is my all-time favourite 3D print, let's have a look over my top 5 3D prints since the channel started way back in the heady days of pre-COVID. Deary me. Now, I enjoyed several of the recent Zelda games. I say recent, when I think of a recent Zelda game, I think of Wind Waker. Good God, I'm old. But yes, I'd say recently I've very much liked Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. And I've chosen this particular print, one because of my love of Zelda, but mostly because how damn well it turned out. It turned out smooth, it turned out great, the paint job was lovely, I was really happy with the whole thing, and the file was absolutely incredible. So yeah, I have put this at number 5 as I just got pure joy out of making it, printing it, painting it, and just generally putting the whole thing together and turning it into a lovely prop, which I still have hanging on my wall in the backgrounds of my videos to this day. So yeah, number 5, starting off well, the corrupted MasterSword from Tears of the Kingdom. Now number 4 is a bit of a personal choice of mine. I once received HeroQuest for my Christmas of my 12th year, I think, and yeah, I have loved the game ever since. It's got a fantastic board, it's got loads of really great pieces, and it's generally an amazing thing to play. But when I found out you could 3D print the board, I went straight ahead, downloaded the files and printed and painted these things, and yeah, I absolutely adore this. It's in my friend's house at the moment as his children learned to play HeroQuest, and he wanted a big version of the board to play it on, and he doesn't like the new figures. So yeah, that is still getting used to this day. This print is practical, but it's also absolutely a passion project of mine, and yeah, I really enjoyed making and painting this wonderful game board. Now, number 3 is a bit of a different one. I chose this one because of the fun I had actually doing it. Somebody asked if you could 3D print a functional drinks beverage holder that would stop your drinks spilling. So I went ahead and I printed this wonderful sort of gyroscopic drinks holder, which was on Thingiverse. And for a bit of fun, I did a field test. I strapped a coffee mug into the gyroscopic holder, and I strapped a coffee mug into the regular holder there on the left, and then I went for a quick run. And yeah, there's nothing more fun than running through the park like an absolute lunatic with people looking at you like you're absolutely crazy. But yeah, I really enjoyed this particular print, and yeah, it turns out you can print a gyroscopic drinks holder that will stop your coffee spilling most of the time. I still got fairly wet feet, but it spilled a lot less than the coffee mug did. So yeah, just purely for the pure joy of running through a park, spilling water everywhere and being looked at like you're an absolute nutbar, this is my number 3. Now number 2 is here because just the amount of people who enjoyed this video. I still get dozens of comments on this to this day, and this was recorded 3 years back. It's basically what material is best for making action figures out of. And so I downloaded a file by a guy called 3D Zip Tie Guy, a guy who I still talk to from Brazil even now. He's got some great stuff on his channel, and check him out. But yeah, this was a really great build. It was very complicated. The amount of zip ties you have to use to actually get this thing to work properly is ridiculous. But once you have done, you get a fully functional 3D figure with all the joints you could possibly want. And yeah, because they're zip ties, they're pretty much unbreakable. So yeah, you can bend, pull and shape this guy around and he will not snap and he will not warp. It's a really good thing to build as well. It's great fun. You just have to make sure you have a huge amount of zip ties and a lot of patience before you attempt this particular print. And yeah, you guys absolutely love this, so yeah, that is why it is number 2 on my list. Quick honourable mention here for my 3D printed Mandalorian helmet. This was before I owned the Ender 3S1 and the Anchor Make M5. So yeah, I printed this thing out on 5 different Ender 3s and Ender 3 version 2s. So yeah, there was probably 7-8 days worth of continuous printing to make this thing come out the way it did. And yeah, nowadays I can print this thing out in the space of a weekend. But yeah, a good couple of weeks went into actually getting this thing ready and then getting it painted and sprayed. And as you can see here, lots of weathering and sanding. So I think purely just basically for having 6 Ender 3s running all at the same time for almost a week, this is definitely going in as an honourable mention, because just the time, the effort and the love that went into actually creating this wonderful piece of cosplay armour. And finally, at first place, it's my 3D printed Razor Crest. I absolutely love this. It's full Kenner action figure style, size and scale. It has greeblies all over it. It's just absolutely beautiful. Once again, this was pre-fast 3D printing. So this is a good 2 weeks of work on 5 Ender 3s, all printing out in different colours because I had a whole batch of different printer filament. One of them was in rainbow, so like one of its I think its left nacelle basically is rainbow coloured. But hey, once it was all glued together with epoxy resin and all filled and primed, I sprayed it in this lovely silver colour and it came out wonderfully. And yeah, inside it's got all these lovely side panels that glue on. It's got lights which I put in there. It's got all kinds of action features like landing gear that actually fold out and a ramp at the back that all folds down. And yeah, it fits full-size Kenner action figures in it. This is definitely my favourite 3D print that I have done ever. And it still sits hanging on my wall at the moment as testament to a time when I had to put a lot of effort into getting a large 3D print done. Now it seems easy with much faster prints. My Delta printer and both my Ender 3S1 and my Anchor Make 5 just plow through 3D prints, but back in the day this required a lot of discipline and effort, and I'm so glad I did. This is definitely my #1 favourite 3D print, and yeah, hugely enjoyed doing every second of it. Well, thank you very much you guys for joining me on this wander down memory lane. Yes, it might be a little bit self-indulgent to do a top 5 3D print list, but quite frankly, I'm feeling a bit self-indulgent. Just realised that I've been doing this for 4 years now, and there are literally thousands of you watching, which is absolutely wonderful. I mean, it's nowhere near being a huge 3D channel. I mean, we're still absolutely tiny, but just the achievement of almost getting 2,000 subscribers just makes me really happy, and I owe that to you guys, so thank you so much for the years you have spent watching my videos. Let's hope there's another 4 years to come, and let's just keep growing and keep enjoying 3D printing. So, thank you for watching my top 5. Stay happy and safe, you guys, and keep printing.